Good day, guys. Greetings to you all. I hope you guys are doing well. This is a book about leadership. A book by Sharma. It says the leader who had no title. So the chapter 1, which says leadership and success are your birthright. So this chapter 1 emphasizes on a guy called Blake Davis, who lost his parents and life just turned around for him, and he started facing reality, hard obstacles, facing struggles and other things of life. So basically, in chapter 1, we have that Blake Davis started to tell us about his secrets to becoming super successful in business and fulfilled in life, by first telling us the honest truth about life, that most of us die amid mediocrity, and telling us his secrets so that we can be able to work at wow and live full out in life. Cool. But everything changed when Blake's parents were killed. But this story by Sharma didn't really emphasize on how his parents were killed. He just said his parents were killed. When Blake's parents were killed, he lost focus and confidence. In his early 20s, he treated himself with too much food, TV and worry. He digressed from one job to another just to avoid the pain of realizing that he has lost his potential. So when Blake was in high school, he was feeling that life was just full of roses. Blake believed a job or an employment is just a medium for him to pass time. Blake later joined the army, which he believed would make him feel a sense of belonging and brought structure to his life. Blake was then shipped to Iraq. His friends were killed in battle, and some were really hurt, and this disturbed him. When Blake returned home after his tenure, he couldn't sleep sometimes at night because of the memory he has from the war. So Blake then decided to join to work at a bookshop in Soho. But because of his attitude and nonchalant behavior, he was always rebuked by his manager and was expecting to be fired. Blake was not a team player, wasn't focused, was despised by his fellow workers. The love of books saved him, while the customers from the store liked him. So his fellow workers never liked him because of his poor attitude, but rather the customers just like him for no reason. So the chapter 2 of Leader Who Had No Title, which says my meeting with leadership mentor. So the store Blake works was doing poorly in sales, and some thought the store would be closed. There was an annual best book seller in America given to an employee in a store, and also a cash gift and a week vacation to Aruba. When Blake wasn't doing any meaningful work, he felt a tap on his shoulders and turned to know who was touching him. Astonishingly, he saw a man whose clothes were old, mismatched, messed, unkempt hair, which reminded Blake of a famous white photo of Albert Einstein. This man was also wearing a necklace with letters LWT. With all this, he was an old man, but he was surprised that he was putting on a pair of shoes, a new one. So Blake still felt that he was with a powerful human being. The man's name is what? Tommy Flynn. Tommy Flynn, who won the best book seller in America 5 years straight. Tommy knew Blake's father. His father moved to New York, and Tommy said that he had heard a lot about Blake, and someday he might be his boss. But later asked Tommy why he gave up his last work to transfer to this store. And Tommy told him he wanted to work with him, and he could make the store a much more different than it is now. The conversation touched Blake in an emotional manner. So Tommy was sympathizing with him about the death of his father, was trying to talk him into being the best of himself. They were telling Tommy that he can't even sleep at night because of the war in Iraq. Blake was also concerned about his chain, the LWT. Tommy gave Blake an example, saying Mandela, Einstein and Edison and Roosevelt as examples of people driven by challenges and not by money, which made them legends. Tommy also said that money is the entailment of standing for the best of yourself, doing some SEW. So this is for chapter 3 of Leader Who Had No Title. So the title of chapter 3 is saying the sad cost of mediocrity and the spectacular rewards of leadership mastery. Tommy asked Blake to meet him 5 a.m. at Rosemead Cemetery. So we need to practice leadership anywhere we find ourselves in our community, health, loved ones, and finance. But the foundation of all of this is us having self-leadership. You must have to lead yourself first before you lead others, Tommy said to Blake. He gave an example of a quote by Ben Franklin saying, "There would be plenty of time to sleep once you are dead." So Tommy asked Blake to pull a tablet on the grave. Right? He told him to dig a grave and bring out a tablet there. So at the first tablet was written 10 human regrets. Tommy asked Blake to dig the second grave and handed him a shovel saying, "Rich rewards come from good effort and hard work." Blake found another tablet that was pure gold, and this tablet that was pure gold had 10 human victories. So the chapter 4 of Leader Who Had No Title says the first leadership concentration. You need no title to be a leader. So he started with a quote by Martin Luther King saying, "If you are a street sweeper, so be, but clean the streets so well that others say that dearly the street sweeper who did his job so well." Tommy introduced Blake to his first teacher, who was from Argentina. Her name was Anna. So Anna is just a housekeeper who has the knowledge of what it is to be a leader and to lead without a title. Anna lost her parents and her grandma raised her. Anna was the one who first taught Tommy all about leadership when he thought success was just for the fortunate few. Anna knows that one of the greatest freedom we have as people is the freedom to choose how we see ourselves in the world, and that we have more power than we think. He started motivating Blake and teaching him the concept about leadership. But Blake had doubts about leader with no title. So Anna gave him a napkin that had 4 natural powers. And she also told Blake that everyone and every job are important and all work can be made meaningful using the philosophy of the leader without a title. So Anna took Blake to a bathroom, instructed him to close his eyes and use the red lipstick to write on the mirror a word, image, or should I call it an acronym? Image. That is IMAGE. So the I stands for innovation, the M is mastery, the A is authenticity, the G is guts, and the E is ethics. She also gave him another acronym of FMOB, meaning the first, the most, the only, the best. So this is chapter 5 of Leader Who Had No Title. So this one is the second leadership conversation, which says turbulent times build great leaders. So Tommy and Davis went together, and Tommy parked at a stylish Tribeca around an area in New York where they met Ty Bod. Ty Bod was a 5-time world slalom skiing champion. Ty used to race all over the world before in his early 30s he broke his knee. So now Ty is now an instructor, a ski instructor at fun ski resorts in the world. He said that the business today are no longer the way it is before. Now the customers are less loyal. Nobody even cares how you feel. They just want to get the entertainment that they paid for. And globalization has made it that only those who stand as leaders without title will be left standing out. SPAC and KMF. So these are his acronyms. For the SPAC, we have the S, which is speak with candor. The P, prioritize. The A, adversity breeds opportunity. The R, respond versus react. Then the K, kudos for everyone. Then now coming to the next acronym, which is KMF, we have keep moving forward. Now this is the chapter 6, which says the third leadership conversation. The deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. So Tommy and Blake drove up to New York Public Library. Blake felt so happy because he was surrounded by books. His name is Jackson Chan. He was Tommy's third teacher and gave up being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar technology in Shanghai a few years back. But his passion is gardening. So Jackson shared the third leadership principle, which says the deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. He also sat on a wooden bench and was explaining the term human, which is HUMAN. That was his acronym. So the H is helpfulness, the U is understanding, the M is mingle, the A is amuse, and the N is nurture. So Jackson mentioned that the larger the dream, the more important the team. Now the chapter 7 of Leader Who Had No Title says the fourth leadership conversation. To be a great leader, first become a great person. So Tommy and Blake walked up into a restaurant called Voodoo on the west side. Tommy's fourth teacher, Jet Brisley. So Jet Brisley was the one in Voodoo. So Jet Brisley, who was a certified massage therapist and a popular person. So Jet mentioned that blood, sweat, and tears are necessary to reach dreams, joys, and hopes also. We chase titles, faster cars, and big bank accounts in search of greatness. But the truth is that what we are looking for, we already have. But we are still searching for them in the wrong places. But before you know it, we will become dust. We will just become dust. And that a street sweeper is buried next to the CEO. Then Jet shared 7 fundamentals of personal leadership. Then Jet gave another acronym, which is SHINE, SHINE.